And we're back with our second conversation for this morning, and it is one that I think has been momentous for me because I love talking about young women and their empowerment, right?
Nice.
So we're talking about the Young Leaders of the Americas initiative, and we're joined today by Khadijah Asales, who is the owner of the very own Kaja Expression. She needs no introduction. And Shadell Young, who is the Public Engagement Assistant at the U.S. Embassy. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Excited? Okay, good. So first, let's start, I guess, with you, Shadell. What is the Young Leaders of the Americas initiative?
So the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative, or YLIFE for short, is a Department of State exchange program that was launched in 2015 to empower entrepreneurs and innovative leaders with the training, tools, and resources and networking opportunities to strengthen their business skills and to strengthen their businesses really, and to be able to effectively contribute to the economic and social development within their communities. And so yearly, YLI offers the opportunity for entrepreneurs to travel to the United States for a 4 to 5 week exchange where they collaborate with a host organization in the field of their particular expertise. And I'm sure that Khadijah will be able to tell us more about her particular experience. But this year, the Wildlife Fellows were selected from a competitive pool of over 2,000 applicants, and of that number, 4 of those individuals were selected from Belize. And so following their individual placement in the U.S., in their respective U.S. cities, all the fellows convene in Washington, D.C. for a closing forum. And one of the highlights of the closing forum is a solution pitch competition where throughout their fellowship, they have the opportunity to develop a solution pitch to share the story of their businesses to potential investors and to propose strategies to expand their businesses. Our very own Khadijah Asales won that competition and was named the 2022 YLI Ambassador.
Before we go to Khadijah, my immediate follow-up question has to do with how easy or how difficult is it to get Belize in this? You're saying it's very competitive,
Yes.
over 2,000 people. It kind of reminds me of IVLP, for instance, where you have a pool of reporters, but in this case, a pool of young leaders and entrepreneurs who you're trying to get Belize as part of the participants for that particular cohort. How difficult or easy is that?
Well, actually, Belize is offered 4 slots every year.
Okay.
And so it's a given that we're going to get 4 slots. We usually have a wide range of applicants from across Belize in different, working in different fields, all entrepreneurs. And so we go through a selection process, and the embassy interviews the semi-finalists, and then we make recommendations for those persons to participate in the program to the YLI organizers.
How long has this initiative been going on?
So from 2015.
2015. I only ask because I mean, I follow the U.S. Embassy page and so forth, and I mean, congratulations once again, Khadijah.
Thank you.
I just, it's not something that I see being widespread in terms of information and so forth on a yearly basis. So you said there's always 4 slots for Belizeans.
That's right.
Can you talk about the previous years?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually already selected the next cohort of fellows, and so they will be participating, I believe, early next year. And so the upcoming, we will be doing recruitment for the upcoming cohort within the next few months. And unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, the program had to shift to virtual, and then we have had to have less cohort than in previous years. So there was less promotion, there was less advertisement because there was less activity taking place. Fortunately, we're back in person, and so Khadijah had an in-person placement. But I just like to encourage anyone who's interested in the program, because we will be having recruitment within the next coming months. So stay connected to our social media accounts on Facebook and on Instagram at US Mission Belize, where we will be making the announcement on the recruitment and sharing eligibility requirements as well.
So let's turn over to Khadija. Let's begin by talking about the experience for you. I gather it may have been an eye-opening one in terms of being able to converse and learn from other young leaders such as yourself.
Absolutely. I think that it was an amazing experience. So I did my program in Burlington, Vermont. That city in itself had like the most artistic vibe. Everybody was so nice and open. So I definitely felt very welcome there. I got matched with an organization called Generator. I felt like it was the perfect match. So that was a maker space. I'd never experienced anything like that. It was a space where there was a jewelry studio, there was a wood workshop, there was like a laser printing workshop. So through Generator, I was able to increase my jewelry making skills. I learned to solder, and then I also learned some very important policies and procedures that we needed in our business to strengthen.
Right. It was a 4 to 5 week workshop, right? And it was a competition as well. How did you maneuver those skills into the competition? How did you able to garner what you learned and put it into practice?
Sure. So first of all, working at Generator, that was like 9 to 5 basically. So I was working there, I was learning policies and procedures, I was learning jewelry making, I was meeting all the other artists that were there. So that was an eye-opening experience. But the entire time that I was there, I had been practicing my pitch. So I didn't just like step up there and I didn't just do my pitch and one. I had put so much work into practicing for that.
Tell us about your pitch.
So it was it wasn't the typical pitch. So it was a solution pitch. So basically you had to talk about your business, you had to talk about like what your business challenge is, and then a solution for your business challenge. It was perfect because, you know, I've had my business 10 years and we're at the point where we're growing a lot, we're having a lot of growing pains. So it was a perfect opportunity for me to present that and talk about the solution that I learned through Generator.
Can I ask about your solutions? Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah.
The solution, we were having operation challenges, so that was the challenge. And my solution for those challenges was to basically hire an operations manager. But before that, it was a matter of asking myself, instead of asking myself like what I can do to solve my problems, it's like redirecting that and asking like who are the right people with passion to help me solve my problem. And so I was able to hire an operations manager who happens to be my best friend. Her name is Therese. She's super passionate about customer service, sales, training, and fostering employees. So I'm so happy to have her join my team.
Tell me something. I think part of this overall experience also has to do with your ability to network and to create that base, so to speak. This kind of an exposure, were you able to make your networking?
Absolutely. I was able to network with entrepreneurs from all over the world. Actually, I made an amazing connection with a young woman in Mexico. She does like financial literacy training. So whereby I'm trying to encourage and train young women in Belize how to learn like a hard skill, jewelry making. She could expand on what I'm teaching them to have them learn how to properly manage their finances, which I think is super important.
Yeah. So how are we taking what you learned now that you've had your pitch, now that you've hired your operations manager? Where is Cash Expressions going now?
We are definitely going to be expanding our network and expanding the amount of women that we work with. So right now we have 6 ladies on our team, and one of my missions has always been to be able to train more women. Like I want to be able to do more. I want to go to the villages that to reach the women that might not necessarily be able to reach us or maybe not have access to social media. So we're definitely going to expand on the amount of women that we're working with and helping to empower.
I want to take a step back and I want to dive into your history just a little bit. You said you started 10 years ago. All right. Can you walk us through, without this this initiative, the operation of College Expressions, the trials and tribulations, and where you are today?
Sure. So I think it was probably a little bit over 10 years ago that I started, but I started my business like literally from scratch. I started out not having any kind of formal business education. I had no savings at all. I also had two like tiny babies, you know. So a lot of people look at Catch Expressions now and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so big, but it definitely didn't start like that. And for the most part, for the entire 10 years, I have kind of been winging it, learning as I go, learning from mistakes that I've made. I've made so many mistakes. And so we started in Placencia, eventually opened a store in San Ignacio, and now have a store in Key Calker. So I feel like because I've made so many mistakes in my business, I feel like I could help other people who are maybe just starting out so that they don't have to go through the whole mistake, trial and error process.
That some would say is a part of the learning.
Yeah.
That's perhaps the beauty of the experience. Once you're able to actually learn from those mistakes and correct them as you go along. As some people make mistakes that are fatal to their business. I mean, you one misstep and that's it, closure, right?
Yeah.
Some people learn to rebound quickly and fix it and be able to stand stronger.
Right.
In terms of what you would share to other young entrepreneurs, there's a trial and error process that you've mentioned, but there are also certain areas where there are courses that are made available to be able to avoid some of these mistakes or pitfalls.
Right.
But from your point of view, what would you share to the average young leader, male or female, who is interested in this kind of thing?
I would say, like, try not to reinvent the wheel. I understand what you're saying, that, you know, you have to learn, and a big part of the process is learning from your mistakes. But I think that some mistakes are avoidable, and you could kind of, there's not really a fast track, but you could get up ahead a little bit quicker if you just learn and be inspired from somebody that has experience and somebody that has made those mistakes. So that, I mean, you have to make mistakes. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
But there are some mistakes that I think don't have to be made.
They're avoidable. So
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that question, Isana, because one of Khadijah's new role as the Wildlife Ambassador is that she is now an official representative of the Wildlife Program. And so in doing so, she'll have the opportunity to serve as guest speaker at upcoming wildlife events, and also serve as a mentor for future wildlife fellows. And one of the other great things about the program, and we touched a bit on networking, is that in addition to the actual fellowship program, which is the in-person travel to the United States, is that there's also a wildlife network. And so this is a virtual community of over 55,000 entrepreneurs from across the region who subscribe to receive professional development and leadership resources. And there's also the opportunity as well to connect and collaborate with other entrepreneurs across the region. And so we have over 350 Belizeans within that network. The network is available to any business, any small business owner who wants to expand their business and strengthen their business models. And so there's a wide range of resources available, from marketing to branding to strengthening your leadership skills. And so I'd like to encourage anyone who's interested in learning in tools and resources, and also being able to network with other entrepreneurs across the region, to tap into this network. You can visit wildlife.state.gov and also follow the Wildlife Network on their social media channels at Wildlife Network.
Does the ambassador tenure last 1 year only, or is it something that you have for life?
Yeah, it's a 1 year. It's a 1 year thing, and then so the person that was the ambassador last year handed it over to me. And one of the reasons why I am so excited to be put in this position is that I do have like a large social media following, and I do try to promote just the different opportunities that are out there for entrepreneurs or people that are just starting businesses. So I feel like it's the perfect opportunity for me to be able to. I recall you saying that you don't really hear anything about this. Well, you'll be hearing a lot more about it now.
Good. No, it is empowering, and I do applaud the initiative 100%. Where what you talked about requirements and qualifications of businesses, what would some of those be?
To participate in the
Yes, to
program.
participate in the program.
So to be able to participate in the program, you'd have to be an entrepreneur, a small business owner, with a track record of at least 2 years having a successful business model. You must be 25 to 35 years of age. You must be either a citizen or a resident of one of the participating countries, which Belize is included in. You are U.S. citizens or persons who hold U.S. permanent residency are not eligible to apply to the program.
Wow. Okay. So in that aspect, it doesn't matter the type of business or anything like that.
No, because we have businesses from the health sector to the environment, to arts and culture, to music. So yeah, a wide range of entrepreneurs.
So Khadija, you're going to be making different jewelry now, I imagine.
Well, you know, we are always innovating, we're always
Yeah.
expanding and always coming up with new designs. We're also, we are looking for new team members as well because we're expanding. So I would like to encourage any young woman out there that is growth oriented to definitely look out for this amazing opportunity that's coming up.
So you have a vacancy for No, I like the initiative, and like you said, your name has been around for quite some time. How has this initiative changed your perspective of entrepreneurship?
It's changed my perspective in the sense that it definitely opened me up. I feel like I've always been someone that was willing to help other people, but being on the other side. So when I did my program, I was on the other side. So whereas people are typically reaching out to me to ask for mentorship, I was on the other end. So I had to go and I was reaching out to different jewelry artists in the area to just find out like what I could learn about their policies and procedures. And they were so welcoming, some of them, some not so much. And for the ones that weren't really like willing to hear me out, that really definitely encouraged me to just be more open. You know, sometimes I get super busy and people are reaching out asking, can I talk? Can I have a sit down with you? And I don't always prioritize that, but after this experience, I'm definitely going to be prioritizing that more.
Awesome. I think that we have those kinds of conversations on a daily basis, especially since you are on a platform. And I know that you don't maybe think of yourself as a person in society that is on the eyes of everybody, but you are.
A young leader.
Yes, you are a young leader. You are a young professional. And so it is important that I think your viewers understand that in order for you to be Khadija, you're busy, right?
Right.
With that said, when you are trying to train other young women, will you be doing the training yourself, or you will be having other people that will provide that?
I think it's going to be a combination of both. So I do have, like I said, I hired an operations manager. That is her strong feat. Like she's excellent when it comes to training people. But I also want to be involved in that because I love connecting with young women as well and helping them to develop their skills.
But you could hire male people to do jewelry. I just asked, right? It's not a criteria, right? Like Isani could go learn to make jewelry.
We're not closed off to it. I mean,
Fair enough, that's fine. My question at this point is for Shadell, in respect of where do you see this program going for Belizeans? While you've mentioned that there are guaranteed 4 seats, so to speak, you're looking at a diverse pool of Belizean talents in various areas. We have Khadija, who is the jewelry expert. But then perhaps you have a young person who's interested in the culinary arts and is doing perhaps a small little restaurant, but wants that kind of an exposure to understand how it is and how it works elsewhere. How do you continue to grow this particular initiative to make it something that stands out for the average young Belizean leader?
So we have a persons who have participated in the program. In addition to being a part of the Wildline Network, they automatically become a part of the U.S. Embassy alumni community as well. And so throughout the year, we offer, similar to the Wildline Network, we offer a host of different opportunities and resources, as well as information on U.S. grants to continue to build on their experience and continue to strengthen their business models and to continue to grow their businesses. And really, the embassy is a proud partner of this initiative because really it supports U.S. objectives to expand inclusive prosperity throughout the region, particularly for persons from marginalized and vulnerable communities, as well as promoting a safer, greener, and more democratic future for all residents. And so we find it imperative to invest in small business owners and entrepreneurs and support them with the tools and resources and connections and platforms really to be able to act as wheels of economic growth and prosperity within their communities as well as the wider nation.
I know Khadisha won the pitch competition, but you did say that there were 4 slots for other. Can you tell us about the other businesses?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And I want to give a special shout out to the other 3 individuals who participated. Stellis Bermudez, Kendra Griffith, and Corey Leslie. I must say that we've had such an impressive group of entrepreneurs and innovative talent, and it's really been a pleasure to be able to work with them, and we look forward to be able to collaborate further as they become a part of our alumni network.
Well, ladies, any final words for our viewers, Khadisha?
I would like to say, like, if you have a small business and you're thinking about applying for the program, like, absolutely apply. I don't think any business can be too small. If you had applied and didn't get in, definitely apply again. This wasn't my first time applying. I had applied previously and I decided to try again. So yeah, definitely apply.
Yeah, thank you. I want to piggyback on what Khadija said, because really we're not looking for CEOs of Fortune 500 companies or people who have 20 to 30 employees. We're looking for people who are hungry, people who have solutions to problems impacting their communities, innovative thinkers, innovative leaders, people who want to learn. So I definitely encourage anyone who's interested in tapping into this opportunity, again, to visit the Wildline Network at the Wildline Network website, at wildline.state.gov. As well as their social media channels at Wildline Network, and the U.S. Embassy's channels as well on Facebook and on Instagram at U.S. Mission Belize.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you for this opportunity.
With that, we are going to take our final break, and we'll be back for a wrap-up.